Hello there everybody and welcome to a brand new little series here on the channel. This is the Isaac item rankings of Isaac. I don't know, do you add an of Isaac to that? It's hard to tell. I'll figure out a name for it and it'll be in nice bright lights at the top of the screen. When I inevitably figure out what the name of this is going to be, here's what we're gonna do, okay? There's 540 some items in the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus, soon to be even more in Repentance. Let's just take 30 random items, and let's rank them, right? I've never wanted to do a true item ranking because one, like, it's absurd. That's 550 items that I have to figure out how to put into tiers like this. And two, I always thought that people would get super toxic if I didn't put, you know, Brimstone above this or, you know, Godhead #1 when it's not the best item. So I think this is kind of the best of both worlds. I get to still talk about some items in depth and what I like about them and what I dislike about them. And then you get to see kind of where I would put them, and we get to argue about it in the comment section. It seems like a brilliant idea. So this is our first set of 30 items here, and I'm probably just gonna go in order. I'm not gonna. I debated picking out and going like S to D, or putting ones in that I know are gonna be in certain areas, and then we discuss. But we'll figure it out. Let's start at the beginning, right? Let's start at the beginning. We got Inner Eye here. This is triple shot. Takes your tears, turns it into 3 tears coming out of your eyes. So I'm gonna hit you with the truth. Inner Eye is not actually a good item. It's pretty bad. However, it's a fun item and I like it. Which is going to make it go higher on the list than it should. I'm gonna put it in the B tier. Okay, and look, that's gonna happen sometimes with some of these because there are items that are objectively not as good as others that I'm going to have higher, just because I think they're interesting items that invite a slew of synergies, which inherently do make the item better when you have good synergies. You know, Inner Eye is the kind of item that has a lot of synergies. Anything that, you know, affects a singular tier is going to be even better when you have 2 more tiers being fired. So I like Inner Eye here. We might adjust as we go, but I think it's a pretty good basis point. Next up, we've got Blood of the Martyr, which is a damage up, kind of a base damage up. I don't know exact damage value off the top of my head, but it's good. It's a damage up. I'm gonna put it in A tier, and here's my reasoning for putting it in A and not B, because I do think that some items, I'll call out Steven here as an example. I think that Steven is probably a B tier item, and who knows, we might randomly pull it the next time we do this, and we'll see where Steven actually falls. But I think Steven's a B tier item just because it's a pretty one-dimensional item, you know, only gives you a damage up. And Blood of the Martyr is the exact same way, but I like Blood of the Martyr more than Steven because it has a kind of hidden synergy that not a lot of people know about. When you have Book of Belial as well, you actually get a 1.5 times damage multiplier, which is going to stack your damage significantly more when you have Blood of the Martyr than if you didn't have Blood of the Martyr. So I think that's a kind of unique synergy that not a lot of people know about, and that for me puts it in A tier. Next up, we got Magic Mush. It's S tier. It's an all stats up. It's a 2 times damage multiplier. Look, it's a top 10 item in the game, so this is a pretty easy decision. There's maybe one other top 10 item in the game here, and it can be very, very heavily debated. So it's easy. Like, Magic Mush is simple S tier. There's never a run where you don't want Magic Mush. Sure, if you already have Cricket's Head, then maybe you're less interested, but it's still an all stats up, so you're getting other stats along with it. I think it's just great. I think it's great and deserving of an S tier. Dollar. Okay, Dollar is actually pretty unique. Because I actually think Dollar changes based on what version of the game you're playing. I'm gonna put it above Blood of the Martyr in A tier, but I think that they might end up being low A tier in the end. Although I'm looking at the items here and I'm going, I don't know whether it will be or not. But the Dollar is really good in Afterbirth Plus. Not as good in Afterbirth and Rebirth, and the reasoning is basically reroll shops, right? Money in Afterbirth Plus is so strong. You can win runs just by having money. Shops are by far the most broken mechanic in the entire game. So having 99 cents to spend at your will in shops and possibly reroll shops is absurdly powerful. And I like to think that I would rather have Dollar than Blood of the Martyr just because of the potential that you get out of Dollar. Obviously shops are kind of, it's a gamble when you're in shops, but you're banking on the potential that 99 cents gives you instead of the guarantee of Blood of the Martyr. That's a total of like 7 items that you can buy with the Dollar, equal to one singular item in Blood of the Martyr. It's also, like 25 soul hearts or 20 soul hearts, I suppose, 24 soul hearts, I suppose, because I can't do math. No, 19 soul hearts. I can't do math, dude. That's extremely poor. 19 soul hearts. And hell, if you have Steam sale, then this just gets even better, right? So I think A tier is a good spot for it. Probably, yeah, I think A tier is a good spot for it. Let's move on to the belt. The belt is going to be low B tier. It's the kind of item that is not flashy in any way, shape, or form. But what it makes up for in its non-flashiness is the fact that it's kind of an essential item. There's a lot of runs where you need a speed up. And if you don't get a speed up, you lose. Because you just can't outrun enemies. Say you get stuck with a terrible speed down early. The belt in a boss room can save your run. And if an item can make that big of a difference, then I struggle to put it in C tier, even if it is an incredibly one-dimensional item. So give the belt some credit. I think it's a B tier. Necronomicon. I think this is an item that actually gets a lot of hate, and is not as bad as what people make it out to be. It's essentially a death card, right? It's a death card on a 6-room charge, which is not that good, but what it can do is it can clear out some really, really frustrating rooms, big rooms, some of the 3-part rooms that are not enjoyable to clear. It can wipe them pretty quickly, and it's going to lessen your chance to take damage. I think the 6-room charge on it is what makes it bad. However, I think that anything less than that, the item becomes actually overpowered, so it sits in a really strange spot. If the game had 5-room charge items, I think that Necronomicon could be rebalanced to be a 5-room charge item. That just doesn't exist in the game. So I think that high C edging itself into B is kind of where I want it to be. It also has the benefit of giving you Bookworm if you get 2 other books alongside of it. So a little bit of potential would be okay. Just not the kind of active item that I'm going to take over, a lot of other active items in the game. It is what it is. Luckfoot. Luck is good in The Binding of Isaac. It helps you out. However, it's a kind of not great item, because as I've been saying, it's a one-dimensional item. You're getting 1 luck. Big whoop. To be honest, just play as Cain, forehead, if you want luck so bad. I think that it's a C tier. I genuinely think I'd rather have Necronomicon than it, just because it'll give you a little bit more. 1 luck is not going to scale you that crazy. Obviously, if you're already, going okay in luck, then adding another luck makes your run better. But we just, some items, you're not guaranteed to get items over the course of your run that even affect luck in any way, or are affected by luck, I should say. So I think that it's probably C tier. There's going to be runs where it's B tier, but I think if you, average every run together, I think you're going to find it in C tier here. Shoop da Whoop. Dude, what a unique item that used to be, like, here. It used to be here in Rebirth, and then this item got reworked in either Afterbirth or Afterbirth Plus, I don't remember, and I'm itching to put it in S tier. I think I'll put it high A instead, just because I think S tier you kind of reserve for the best items in the game. But I think Shoop da Whoop is maybe better than Dollar or Blood of the Martyr. This is a 2-room charge active item that unleashes basically a brimstone beam, but it's a pretty powerful Brimstone Beam that is going to take like half health off of bosses. It's going to clear out rooms when you use it. It's pretty powerful, and I think that a lot of people underrate it because it's an easy active item to get. But easy active item to get does not mean that it's a bad active item. You know, there's a lot of easy active items to get in the game. You know, Guppy's Head you get all the time. Guppy's Head's okay. Not a great item, but it's okay. Yeah, I think high A is actually okay for Shoop da Whoop. I think people are gonna hate that. I think people are gonna hate that, but I feel okay about it at the current. This might be where we start differing. Maybe we've already differed. Once again, you can find the link to this tier maker in the comments. Feel free to @me on Twitter with any changes that you would make. I'm interested to see them. But let's move on. Pentagram. I'm going to put it above Blood of the Martyr and below the dollar. And here's my reasoning, okay? I believe that Pentagram is a higher damage up than Blood of the Martyr. It also is going to give you a higher Devil Deal chance, which is going to help you to continue spiraling out of control in damage, hopefully, in terms of taking Devil Deals. But I still will probably take the dollar over it, just because, like I said, 99 cents in this game is... It's a lot. It's a lot of money. You can do so much with it. So I feel like I have to put it there. And I think that there are definitely reasons to change all of these up, right? I think that you could do it like this. I think you could have it, you know, completely inverted depending on synergies and things like that. But I'm happy with how we have those set up. Let's move on to tech. And tech is, I think, a high B tier item for me. I like tech. I do. It's piercing, which is the really, really valuable component of tech. But what tech does ruin is the fact that you can't shoot at angles, right? You are tied down to a right angle when you shoot with tech. And you're going to say, Tyler, you're tied down to a right angle when you shoot regular tiers. And you're just objectively wrong. You can use momentum to shoot tiers at angles to take care of enemies in different ways, whereas tech does actually limit a little bit of your dodging in the game. So while the piercing is huge, I think that it can be a bit of a downside. It also does kill a good chunk of synergies in the game, which makes me dip it a tiny bit lower, but it's still a fun item, and it's still, you know, I would argue it's a good item. It's better than Inner Eye, right? You know, I think these are sitting at the bottom of B tier. I think we'll have a couple more B tier items that come in ahead of those, but I just don't think that it qualifies as an A tier item for me. It's just not quite good enough for me to put it there. So high B for it. Rosary. Ugh, dude. Rosary is a high C tier item for me. And there's a lot to unpack with the Rosary here. So the Rosary by default gives you 3 or 4 soul hearts. I don't remember off the top of my head. I want to say 3. But what it also does is it gives you a higher chance to find the Bible. Okay? And you might be like, big whoop, the Bible insta-kills mom. Give me the Bible, dude. But the problem is, you're probably going to find a better active item on your run than the Bible. I don't want to trash talk the Bible, but I don't care for it, right? It's going to be rated pretty low when I find it in one of these tier makers. So the fact that you're going to then force the Bible into showing up on my run, and dare it be in an item room, I'll murder you. Dare it be in a Devil Deal, I will get very upset. Likely it'll show up in your shop, and then it eats up a shop item that could have been restock or Steam sale, Diplopia, you know, so many incredible shop items. So while the health is nice from the Rosary, it kind of, you know, it puts the band-aid on you and then it rips it off really fast. Because it kind of hurts you by having the Bible show up. That's at least my opinion. If you value the Bible, then the Rosary is going to be pretty high for you. But I don't value the Bible, so it's high C for me. Let's do the quarter now. I'm gonna put the quarter here, because I struggle to put it above Inner Eye, because Inner Eye is a more fun item than the quarter, despite me thinking that the quarter is a better item, okay? I think 25 cents is more useful than triple shot in this game. There, I said it, you can quote me for the rest of my life for saying it, but I think that 25 cents is more useful. You can buy 5 soul hearts, you can buy an item and 3 soul hearts, you can buy 2 items with a little bit more item power, money. I don't know. But I think Inner Eye gives it a little bit of an edge on it, just because potential synergies and things like that. So I put it where I put it, and I'm going to move on now. Because I don't want to touch it. Maybe it'll change its mind if I touch it. Small Rock. This is an S tier item. I think everybody knows that. It's a high damage up. It's a tier delay down. It is a slight speed downgrade, which is bad. But it's also a free item most of the time. You're spending a bomb. You're getting it out of a tinted rock. I think that holds a lot of value. It can absolutely carry you early in terms of the damage that it gives. You have to put it in S tier, I think. You can argue it for sure, but I like it in S tier. Pinking Shears. I'm going to also put this in S tier. And it's an item that I actually probably underrate most of the time, just because it's a boring item to me, because basically it's going to eliminate, and when I say eliminate, I mean destroy, any bosses that you put it up to. It's basically a 6-charge active item that goes and just starts destroying whatever is in the room. It's strong. It's a 6-room charge, so obviously you can only do it every 6 rooms, but you can line it up so you're guaranteed to have it for your boss fights, and then you just wipe every boss fight that you do. Is that the most fun way to play the game? I'm gonna go with no, okay? But if you're looking for power and strength and how strong the item is, then obviously it's very good, because something that can kill bosses pretty much instantly is always going to be higher on a tier maker like this. So I put it in low S tier just because I have a little bit of an issue with items like that, because I'm a boring old man that enjoys playing the game the way that it's meant to be played. Shoot the enemies, don't let the active item do it for you. But hey, you're probably gonna put it higher than I will, and that's okay. The Bean. Congratulations, Bean. You've done it. You've made it to D tier. What do I have to say about it, right? It's a 1-charge active item that releases gas in the room. Sure, you can poison enemies. Sure, somebody's gonna go, Tyler, the Bean's my favorite item. You can poison enemies. It's so good, you know. It wipes them out. It doesn't, right? It doesn't. It's not that good. You're lying to yourself. It's a D tier item. Not the most useless item in the game, but it's pretty bad, okay? So in this set of items, it's easy D tier for me. And speaking of easy D tier, Monster Manual. The classic misspelling of Monster Manual, fixed when Rebirth, a couple days after Rebirth came out. Monster Manual spawns a familiar, and it's a 3 or 4 room charge. Pretty terrible, to be perfectly honest, since most familiars in the game, don't shoot the messenger, are garbage. So getting a familiar for a room, who cares? Are there amazing synergies with this item? Absolutely. Sacrificial Altar breaks this item to hell, because you can basically turn nothing into Devil Deal items, which is very good. But it's one synergy, right? Every item has like one good synergy that you can use, so I have to put it in D tier because the common practice is that it's pretty bad, right? IV Bag. Dude, this is testing my like Isaac knowledge too, trying to remember what the hell all these items are called. IV Bag. This is such a unique one, to be perfectly honest, because it's a very situational item. I'm going to put it in low A, okay? And I think that, I'm going to tell you, I was about to put it here. And then I was like, no, you know what? I'm going to put it here. And then I think I finally settled in the middle of those two. This is an item that will damage you for half a red heart and give you money. Okay? Pretty good, in my opinion. Helps you to fuel the broken economy in the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. But is it always good? And the answer is no, right? If you're not rocking a red heart build, then IV Bag is super dangerous for you because you're permanently removing your health to get money. But on a huge red heart build, you know, say you have 5-6 red hearts, it's like an easy 30 cents or so that you're getting out of it. So that's very strong. I like it. I think that it's a min-maxing item that helps you break the game. But I think that it's also a relatively high-risk item. So high risk, high reward, that's a good item to me and deserving of A tier. Mutant Spider. Oh, baby. So now it's time to piss people off. It's fun that we randomly got Inner Eye and Mutant Spider. on this list. I'm just gonna hit you with the honest to goodness facts. I'm gonna put it in C tier. I know a lot of people are gonna expect me to put it higher, and I'm going to, because I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna put it high B. I'm gonna put it high B. It's better than triple shot. Okay, because the extra tier does make it better. However, the insane rate of fire downgrade that you get from it is actually bad. It's actually bad and makes it a not great item. I'm not gonna call it not good, because I think that it's maybe good. I think B means it's a good item, but it's not great, right? It's not great. It's not going to, once you pick it up, transform your run. Everybody sees 4 shots come out of them, they go, oh crap, I'm strong. But it's not really how it works, right? That tier downgrade is so bad for your run. So I put it in high B because of synergy potential and the fact that it's fun, okay? Is it better than technology? Probably not. Probably not. So I'm gonna actually change those immediately. And then it's fitting. These two are right next to each other. They can kiss and have a good time. Ghost Baby. Ghost Baby's bad. It's a D tier item. Is bad. Sure, you can get it out of a skull. Very exciting, very riveting. But otherwise, you see it in an item room on your first floor, you're probably holding R. It's just not that good. So I put it in D tier. It's a crappy familiar. Like I said, most familiars are kind of crappy. So I put it there. Speaking of crappy familiars, I mean, he's like slightly better than Ghost Baby. This is Harlequin Baby, correct? Yes. If it's not, then very embarrassing on my part. Harlequin Baby fires 2 shots instead of 1. It's not 2 times crappier. I guess it's half crappier, but it's still pretty crappy. I have no interest in him. I'd rather have the luck upgrade or Necronomicon. And that's kind of, you look at the item before it and after it, and you go, would I rather have Luckfoot than Harlequin Baby? The answer is yes. Would I rather have Harlequin Baby or Ghost Baby? The answer is Harlequin Baby. So, I think that's easy. And I think I don't have much else to say. It's a crappy familiar. Blood Rights. Wow. Frick. I would rather have Monster Manuel than Blood Rights, and I'd rather have Blood Rights than the Bean. Why do I put Blood Rights above the Bean? I think because of the synergy potential that it brings with Isaac's Heart. Just the fact that it has a synergy that actually wins you the game has to give it some street cred. I don't think it gives a lot of street cred. The clout that Blood Rights brings is low, but I value it as a weird item. It's a weird item. Why not? Let's roll with it. We'll put it there. I mean, it's still bad. It's the second worst item here, so can't have too much value, but we put it there and we live with it. Mom's Key. Dude, you're about to actually maybe scream. I'm gonna put it in S tier. Because I actually think Mom's Key is an S tier item. If you haven't had it, what it does, it gives you 2 keys on pickup already. And then once you have those 2 keys, every chest you open in the future is just going to be better. It's going to be a better chest. More stuff inside of it. Here's why I like Mom's Key. 1, game-breaking potential, right? You're going to get a lot more money and a lot more resources, which are going to help you to min-max more and then do more stuff, win the game, right? But what I like about it is the fact that most of the time that you're buying it, it's kind of paying for itself immediately, right? So 2 keys in the shop, 10 cents, right? If you're buying 2 keys, it's 10 cents. You're buying Mom's Key, which gives you 2 keys for 15 cents, right? So you're paying 5 extra, but the next chest you open is probably giving you 5 cents anyway. And then every future chest that you get is just paying for it even more. So I kind of view it as a free item most of the time if I already have the money. The amount of value that it gives back is so astronomically high that I put it in S tier. I think that it helps you out on your run more than most of these other items. So maybe I value things a little bit differently than you, but I think that Mom's Key is a very, very good item in this game. Top 50? I don't know, right? I don't know. There's a lot of really good items in the game, but I don't think any of these 5 are in the top 50. I'd argue that pinking Shears also maybe isn't in the top 50, but that's beside the point. Humble Bundle. Humbling Bundle. It's a great item. It's a great item, dude. It's a great item. Here's my issue with it, though. It is kind of the same as Contract from Below. Okay? And do I value Humble Bundle more than Contract from Below? The answer is yes. So what's my issue here? I don't know. I don't know where to put it, to be perfectly honest, because I'm looking at one slot and I'm not sure I like it there. I actually think I slide Humble Bundle right here. And I was going to put it before the $1, but I'll be honest with you, Humble Bundle is going to give you more than 99 cents on your run. So I think that I value it more than the $1. And I think I'm good with that. So what this item does is it doubles every consumable that you get. So every bomb becomes 2, every key becomes 2, every coin becomes 2. That is strong. You know, every chest becomes 2 chests. It's very, very strong. So it's gonna give you a lot of stuff. And once again, that stuff allows you to min-max and have a good time. So I think that it's high, right? I think it's high. It's gotta be A tier. Where in the A tier? I don't know, but it's gotta be A tier. Rubber Cement. Dude, these are hard at the end. Holy crap, these are hard. I think Rubber Cement slips in here. I think it's better than $1, but not as good as Humble Bundle. I think people will probably rate it above Humble Bundle. What Rubber Cement does is it makes your tears bounce off of walls, which is insanely fun, right? Makes for a lot of really good synergies. Allows you to miss some shots and still deal damage to enemies, which is valuable. But I just don't think that it's the kind of item that wins you the run. And thus, I can't put it much higher than that. I think it's still a very good item with a lot of synergy potential. But it's not a game-winning item. And neither are any of these, to be honest. I'd argue maybe Shoop da Whoop is the closest, and that's why it's at the top. But none of the items from Shoop da Whoop down are game-winning items. Mom's Key also is not a game-winning item, but I don't know, dude. Just take another shot of whiskey and then we'll continue. I don't have any whiskey, sadly, but it's probably a good idea for the next episode of this. Starter deck. Starter deck. Good item, yet again. Is it an A tier item? I'm gonna go no, actually. I think I'm gonna put it high B, right? I think high B is a good place for it. It's better than Mutant Spider. No, I'm gonna break up the party. I'll take Mutant Spider over starter deck. Maybe not. Maybe not. The starter deck allows you to hold 2 cards, okay? Which you might say, not great, but it's really good. It also turns all pills in the game into cards, so you're seeing more cards over the course of your run. Boy, it's hard. I actually am very torn. I think that if you make me change my mind every 5 minutes, I'm going to change it back and forth. I'm going to put it here just so that Mutant Spider and Inner Eye can continue to stare at each other with 7 eyes. But I think starter deck's a really good item. A lot of min-maxing potential, ability to hold multiple runes. You pair this with something like Blank Card, and now you can do a lot of, mixing and matching with how you're spending your cards. Ability to hold on to high damage cards for boss fights is super valuable. Things like Hangman to reach more stuff, Chariot to avoid spike damage or curse room damage. I think that there's a lot of potential with cards in the game. Cards are strong, so an item that allows you to hold 2 of them, I rank pretty high. Little Haunt. Little Haunt is better than people give it credit for, okay? It's not just a crappy familiar, believe it or not. I'm gonna put it here, okay? Little Haunt is a familiar little ghost that chases down enemies, does a good chunk of damage to them, but not only that, it also fears the enemy, which is going to push him away from you. I think that it's good. It's not going to, kill bosses by itself, but it's going to deal a good chunk of damage to enemies in the room, and it's going to kind of silently help you in building up your run and becoming more powerful. It's not the kind of item that you notice a lot, but it's doing good stuff on the back end, I promise you. This is Pisces, right? I'm gonna double check. It's Pisces. I'm not stupid. It's Pisces. Okay. I'm going to put Pisces above. I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna finally split them up, dude, because I think I'd rather have Mutant Spider than Pisces, but I also think that it's better than Inner Eye. So what Pisces does, to be perfectly blunt, it's knockback on your tiers, but the most important thing is it's a fire delay down, which is going to help you to break the tier cap in Isaac, which is capped at 5 if you're looking at your stats. So taking Pisces allows you to go down to 4, which is going to make your tiers, significantly faster firing. I think that it's good for that reason. It's not even close to the best Zodiac item, but tier delay downs are very valuable in this game. So any chance you get to get a tier delay down is a positive thing. Mid B tier. Diplopia. Dude, I'm gonna hit you with the honest to goodness truth. This is an S tier item, above Pinking Shears, because it can be any other S tier item, right? There's so many weird synergies with Diplopia in the game, so much so that I want to make a video doing like top 10 Diplopia synergies at some point, because it's such a unique item, right? The ability to dupe any other item allows you to do so much in the game, and so much that you don't normally see, right? There's so many items that interact with itself that you'll never see, because there's not the ability to duplicate items in the game except for Diplopia. So I think that just on merit and fun alone, I have to put it high like that. But also the ability, like, say you have Pentagram inside of an item room, you dupe it, now you got 2 damage ups that are now significantly more damage than one singular Pentagram was. Say you get theirs options or more options, all of a sudden you're duping boss items, you're duping item room items, you're getting more and more items than you paid for. It's super strong. It's super strong. Guppy, you dupe 9 lives, you got 18 lives to deal with on your run. There's just so much you can do with Diplopia, and it's a very versatile item that allows you to gain a crap load of benefit on your run. So I put it in the S tier. And speaking of items in the S tier, this one is literally like high S tier. It's not as good as Magic Mush, but is close. This is Maw of the Void, which is a passive item found in Devil Deals that gives you a damage up, and then also allows you to charge a beam-based attack similar to a Thame, if you know it, where also when that beam-based attack hits enemies, there's a small chance that they'll drop black hearts. It's just strong, right? It's just strong. There's no downsides to taking Maw of the Void, except for the 2 hearts that you spend in the Devil Deal, but you're spending 2 hearts to get an incredible item, so it's kind of an easy choice. It's an S tier item. It's close to a top 10 item in the game. I don't think it's top 10 because I've never made that video, but I think it's top 25 100%, and top 25 in a game with 550 items is a great item. It's a great item. Fruitcake. Weird item, dude. Can literally murder you or can literally help you. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put it here, and then I'm going to edit the screen so that it looks pretty. I'm going to put it in the B tier, right below Tech. I think Tech is better than Fruitcake. I think that given immunity to explosions, Fruitcake is an A tier item, because there are a lot of exploding tier effects in the game that Fruitcake gives you. It increases your damage a lot in the game. But the issue is that it's so unreliable when those are going to hit that you can end up hitting yourself a lot of the time with Fruitcake. And that makes for a difficult item to control, and thus you lose health. So I put it in B tier. I'm happy with it, and this is our tier. This is our tier for episode 1 of the Isaac item ranks. 30 items in the book. Next episode, we pull 30 more items down and rank them some more. I suppose, if we wanted this to be equal, Little Haunt and the Belt could go into C tier. But I think that they are better than what, is showing here. So let me know where I went wrong, right? Let me know where you want to see items, where you disagree with my ranking. I'll be interested to see what the comment section says. Please be civil and not make me want to kill you. But we're going to do this again with 30 more randomized items next time. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye.